What's up guys, welcome back for another Yu-Gi-Oh! Pro Duel video. Finally the new Sky Striker Link 2 has been revealed, you know, the one from Link Vrains Pack 3. It kinda baffles me that Sky Strikers is still getting more support here in 2019, going into 2020 I guess, by the time we might be getting this new support. Same for Rose as well, it's just fine as a one-off, I think. Other options for the main deck is like Card of Demise as well, but you know, like this is the build, again like always feel free to leave suggestions. So this new Sky Striker is definitely a good one. I think just fine as a one-off in the extra deck. I dropped one Hayate from the extra deck, but it's quite iffy, right? I think there are better options to drop, so I might just want to add like the Hayate back into the extra deck. So anyway, the effect is quite okay. It's basically again a Link 2 that needs one Sky Striker Ace monster, basically your entire deck, right? And any other monster. So that's good. I'm looking at cards like Mind Control that can easily make this new Sky Striker monster. So what's the use? The use is that if it's Link summoned, you can target a monster on the field and then that monster will be banished until your opponent's next end phase. So I'm looking at cards like Titan, for example, you know, pesky boss monster against Salamangreat, banish the Leo or whatever, you know, they're strong boss monsters to get them off the field, maybe go in for some extra damage as well, or, you know, banishing Colossus to make your searches live. So this new Sky Striker monster definitely has a place in the extra deck, but again, as you see, the space in the extra deck is quite tight. So again, like always, feel free to leave feedback of you know, what cards I could drop here. As I mentioned before, this new card, this new Link monster also has a second effect as well, not to forget. You can send one card from your side of the field to the graveyard and then it will gain a boost of 1000 attack, pumping itself up to 2500. So that's fine, but you know, its most important effect is the first one, banish something from your opponent, for example, like Colossus or the big boss monsters that prevent you from searching or whatever. So anyway, Shizuku, and you know, this is like the desired Sky Striker field, and this should be my duel already. That Sky Strikers, even with one multi-roll, one Widow Anchor, one Drones, the deck is still very sweet. But yeah, with this new support, not really sure if I want to main deck more Rose. Rose is like, I mean, it's like a Kageto Kage, I guess, as soon as you summon a Sky Striker Ace monster, and at the same time when your Rose is in your graveyard, you could special summon it like Treeborn Frog alike from your graveyard as soon as an opponent's extra deck monster, or at least a monster in the extra deck zone, is sent to the graveyard, or I think destroyed as well. Yeah, indeed, it should be destroyed, if I'm not mistaken. You can special summon your Rose from the graveyard, so instantly, you know, giving yourself another monster, I guess, opening up a potential Link 2 play. So anyway, Hayate again, and yeah, this should be again my duel as I mentioned before, getting some extra damage, the Hayate Mill. Well, yeah, going for Bomber as well. Yeah, I had, what's it called, multi-roll to get rid of the Maiden, and, you know, like Bomber, yeah, Topologic is basically game over against something like Salamangreat, especially with the multi-roll still intact with multiple additions. I think I had like 3. Thunders, and this is where the new Sky Striker should shine, right? In theory, against Salamangreat a bit less, there are maybe like better options, like maybe some specific scenarios where your Sky Striker Link monster, your Link 2, definitely can come into place. Like here, the Rose edition is that when it's a special summoned from the graveyard, it has like an effect negation effect, so that's good, negating Colossus and at the same time giving me the extra monster to go for the Link 2, and now I can, you know, freely gain some nice advantage. And the disgusting thing is that with there can only be one, you know, the monster will be like, what is it called? Strike Ninja? You know, that the good old school card, when it returns to the field, your opponent needs to make like a choice. Well, in this case, if he has like another Thunder on the field and Colossus returning to the field, he has to make a choice, and against Sky Strikers, that's so deadly. I mean, like one monster from the opponent, that's definitely not hard to get rid of, you know, Widow Anchor, and then more options like Shark Cannon for the potential extra OTK. So yeah, ridiculous, right? This new Sky Striker Link monster. Again, Salamangreat's going second, and my opening hand is quite good. There is the Engage, there is the Maiden, the Shark Cannon is quite decent as well, to trigger a potential multi-roll also, and yeah, the Drones, okay, that's fine. So I also see the Jamming Wave for the potential, the trap here being Roar, immediately, you know, force out Roar, I guess, and that opening, okay, Dweller is quite generic, but doesn't really do that much against the deck, right? Tornado Dragon would have been much more threatening, but yeah, whatever, right? It's fine. So going for engage, multi-roll, you know, some standard Sky Striker shenanigans. I mean, even though the deck is like neutered so hard, Kagari, like multi-roll, so Widow Anchor, the list goes on, and the deck is still so strong, and even with this new support. So okay, Falco is going to trigger, that's cool. I do have a couple of options. I should be going for Topologic again. Yeah, Topologic is so good against something like, like Salamangreats, and I again have the multiple pluses, +4 again, off of multi-roll. Ridiculous, and this is fine. Like, Topologic with the Kerrigan only B1 is so degenerate, right? So this is all fine, no reason to use my Widow Anchor to negate the Blazing Fire Charmer, and this is again all cool. Boral Sword is fine, just going to negate it. It's going for the Suicide, that's cool, since I still have like an Ace Monster ready, yeah, indeed with Hornet Drones, and drawing like another Engage, and this is, yeah, should be more than enough to, you know, like force out the game eventually. So yeah, still quite disgusting, but the thing here is that should you, as a Sky Striker player, play more Rose? I think just one is fine. Again, you can send it or Foolish Burial it to the graveyard with your Hayate. So again, not really sure if you want to make more copies of Rose. Then again, is that the Card of the Mice build might not really want like main deck more monsters, let alone more Ash Blossoms. That is, like the winner of YCS London wasn't running the Ash Blossoms in the main deck, he was running the Card of the Mice. So again, those things go into like there are definitely more options to play the deck. The thing here is that, okay, again, against Thunder Dragon, I will only want Colossus, that's fine, I can just get rid of it with the Sky Striker link, the link to SIEG, and then I can finally get my searches, and I see that, you know, that ridiculous Floodgate card, that there can only be one, is lurking in the background, and again, it's going to be flipped face up really soon, and, you know, the opponent will just, like, eventually scoop it up as well, since this field, typical Sky Striker shenanigans, but, yeah, the Solemn Strike, now I think of it, is that that's not really the best play. Like, what is Wolf going to do, right? Again, like the Maiden will just trigger, Shizuku will just trigger special something. The Maiden, I believe, I have that one, right, in the graveyard. So yeah, Wolf will not, or at least probably wouldn't have done anything, so the strike was a minor mistake on my part. But as I mentioned before, Colossus here isn't really that big of yeah, Colossus indeed is not really that big of a threat. Center, just the scoop face. Okay, that's cool. Not really, but that's how it is. So again, going second, I think Sky Strikers is the deck, you know, going second. I might want to tag in another Mind Control, but, you know, more testing needs to be done. The problem is, though, is double Colossus. That's the problem. I probably can get rid of one, maybe with something like Mind Control, or the best case scenario, the Sky Striker Link, or maybe Widow Anchor, but 2 is definitely too much, let alone 2 backed up with Phantasme as well. Nope, that's definitely too much for this deck to handle. So yeah, immediately enter the scoop phase, I guess. So last example, again, SIEG is proving that it definitely has a place in the Sky Striker extra deck, but I think it's just fine as a one-off. I don't see myself running or making more plays or more spaces in the extra deck for this new Link to Sky Striker monster. And yeah, here, Thunder Dragon not gaining, or at least not having the momentum, and yeah, you don't want to give Sky Strikers this many like plays or potential pluses, right? And okay, Gold Shark is like a delicious top deck, but nope, the Ash Blossom is going to negate that, and this should be game. Yeah, Widow Anchor is cool, tag out for Hayate indeed for another Foolish Burial, you know, potential Engage Rose indeed, yeah, send it to the graveyard just in case I can reborn it, and making some plays for next turn with the continuous trap, you know which one, the equip one, right? Top decking engage, and this is indeed more than enough to attack for a game. So the new Link monster, as I mentioned before, definitely has a place in Sky Strikers. It's definitely a good card, but the thing is that it's quite situational, but it's just there as a potential, you know, like threat for your opponent. Your opponent needs to play around it, your opponent knows that it's there, and he again has to play around it, make sure that he has the options to prevent it from coming out, or from using its effect like on Colossus, for example, or maybe Titan, to potentially get in some extra damage, right? So The card definitely has a place in the extra deck, but the space is tight, so again, like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Other options, I'm maybe looking at the Utopia package, Lost Wind, Compulsory, Call by the Grave, like there are definitely all options to main deck. Not really a huge fan of Pot of Desires, but again, like feel free if you like main deck that, and again, like feel free to leave feedback. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a card or like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.